is up, you guys? So in this video I'm going to show you guys how to make a sort of a lead hover sort of thing, and it sounds exactly like what you hear right here, so this is what we'll be making. So it's kind of one of those, I can't really call it a lead, I can't really call it a hover, it's sort of an in-between, but you might have heard stuff like this before in a few tracks. I don't really like naming out tracks or doing very specific things, so I'll just leave it at lead hover. So it's actually very simple, and one of the reasons why I love the A.N.A is because the noise oscillators, or generators if you want to call it that, are really great. So, you know, any pad type stuff or any kind of like hovers and leads are really great using these noise oscillators. So what you got to do is initialize, so you get a Berlang preset, and I'm kind of weird because in the A.N.A I like to start off in the noise oscillators first, so I don't even bother with, you know, oscillators 1 through 3. So let's start off where I start off in oscillator 4. So I selected the Ice Wind, which is actually a really nice sounding sort of noise oscillator by itself, and you gotta make sure you have the key track and the retrig on. We're gonna set the volume to around 31%. So if you're newer to the A.N.A, right here in Control Info, you'll see the percentage of where the parameters are set. So 31% here. We're gonna make sure this is routed to filter 1. And let's go to oscillator 5. So we're going to select the cheap choir, so it's near the top, and we're going to set the volume to around 60% and bring this down an octave. So again, make sure this is routed to filter 1. And now let's go to our only oscillator that we're using here that isn't a noise oscillator or an attack oscillator. So we're not using oscillator 2 or 3, just oscillator 1. We're going to select the data dis, so it's somewhere around here. I really like this one by itself, sounds really awesome, especially combined with those noise oscillators, gives you something really nice. So we're going to set the retrig on, no key track, and we're going to set this to 3 voices so that we can add 26% detune, and for the shape will be around 65, with around 34%, and finally the volume will be at 73 or so. So now all that's left to do is just kind of add our filters and LFOs at this point. So we're just going to stick to one filter. We're going to use a comb filter, and we're going to set the cutoff to around 58 hertz, the reso to around 0.0 or 0.63. I was kind of distracted reading a email. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here. I'm not really good at it. And so that's it for the filter section. So we're not going to use the second filter. Right now we're in series, so if we wanted parallel, we would turn on parallel. Actually, wait, the A.N.A is confusing because I think right now I'm in series, so it's always the opposite of what you see here. So if I wanted to turn on the parallel type of routing, I turn that on, and then I see series, and if I want series, I turn on that. Very confusing, but if you give it a listen, you'll be able to figure it out. So sometimes I always get messed up with this. Maybe I'm wrong right now, but it doesn't matter. We're just sticking to one filter. So now let's go to the amp envelope, since that's the only thing I really changed here. So I just selected this kind of curve right here, and I brought the decay to around 146 milliseconds, release around 221, and that's really it. So now let's go to the final and last thing, the LFO, which kind of gives it that hovery sort of characteristic. So we're going to select the pulse bipolar. We're going to set the rate to 1/4, depth up all the way, and we're going to select the filter 1 cutoff, or we could just select filter 1 and 2 cutoff if you want to add another filter. And we're going to set that amount to around 38.7%, and that's really it. So I did very little. I didn't even touch effects, I didn't touch EQ, I didn't do any modulations, or, you know, I really left it very simple, and what you get is actually pretty cool. So, you know, now if you hold these out, actually there's one thing we did wrong. We got to turn on the key track. So let me make sure that that works now. So I guess somehow I accidentally turned off the key track. I felt like that was wrong, so I'm glad I called it. So make sure you got that key track on, and we're done. So very simple sound. And of course, guys, thanks for watching.